Hi everyone, Jessica here from Paper Ink Stamp and welcome back to my channel. So today's video I'm going to be sharing with you some really great news about a competition that I recently won. So up until now I haven't been able to share this news with you, but I'm so excited that I can finally kind of talk about it and really kind of get into some details with you. So Practical Publishers run this annual competition called Card Maker of the Year. If you're not sure who they are, they publish the magazines that we look at here on my channel. So the Simply Cards and Papercraft, Die Cutting Essentials and Creative Stamping magazine. They do actually have a fourth magazine as well for paper crafting, but I don't subscribe to that one, and they do also have a lot of other sort of creative hobby magazines as well. On top of that, they are part of the Craftstash website, which is a fantastic online retailer where you can get lots of card making supplies. They have a lot of products from different companies and they have a really great range, not to mention obviously other products for other creative hobbies as well. And it's also a place where you can buy the magazines. So when I create a magazine video, I do pop a link in the description box for that magazine, which you can buy on the website. So Practical Publishers and Craftstash also have a social media platform called Craftworld. There is a link in the description box down below to my profile. If you head over there, make sure you add me as a friend. So Craftworld is free to join and you just set up an account and you can share all of your projects, you can join groups, there's tons of videos and tutorials, downloads. You can pay to become a member to get extra perks from that, but like I said, it's completely free to join up with. But there's just a wealth of information on there and it's so nice to be part of a community who is all interested in the same things that you and I are. So now back to the competition. So this was advertised on the Craftworld website and then in their magazine. So I remember seeing this in an issue of Simply Cards and Papercraft. So you would have seen a big spread like this one here. So it's showing you all of the prizes that you could win, and it's then a share of £19,000 worth of prizes. So to enter the competition, you had to submit 2 cards and another kind of paper crafting project. So something like a mini album, a scrapbook page, you know, anything that just wasn't a card. So there's 2 stages to this competition and essentially kind of 2 sets of prizes. So the first bit's for Card Maker of the Year winners. They get a share of the prizes that I just showed you from the magazine, and you also get to be part of, I'm guessing, one of the magazine's design team. So the next stage is then for those 4 winners to design a capsule collection for people to actually vote on. So that vote has now gone live on the Craftworld website. And then whoever gets the most votes, so whoever wins that section, will actually get their capsule collection manufactured and sold on the Craftstash website. So it's such an amazing amount of prizes just to win that first section, but then to go on and potentially win this second one of getting, you know, that capsule collection made is just an absolute dream come true. I'm sure not just for me, but of course those other 3 winners as well. So for the prizes that have actually been sent for this first stage of the competition, I've really tried my best not to use them. I didn't want to use a lot of it in my videos because I couldn't really explain where they came from because, you know, it wasn't a craft haul of stuff that I'd actually bought myself. So it's just been sat patiently waiting, but as I've come closer and closer to being able to create this video, I have started to pull little bits and pieces from that sort of stash. So I've got it all together, kind of staring at me every day, waiting to be used. But now I can start creating those videos and we can actually, you know, look at those products. So just to kind of list off the manufacturer's products that I've got. So we have got stuff from Creative Expressions, Craft-to-Scope, we've got Indigo Blue, Colorado Craft Company, we've got Hefty Doodle, Hunky Dory, we've got Lawn Fawn, Marie Anne Designs, we've got Sentimentally Yours, Pink Fresh Studio, Pretty Gets Gritty, Stampendous and Visible Image. So that was kind of the stamps and dies and things that we got from them. Then on top of that, I've got a whole stack of books, but from mainly 2 different sort of suppliers. So we've got the Guide of Master Craftsmanship Publications and 50 Search Press as well. So I can show you those. Let me know in the description box down below if you're interested in kind of seeing those books that I got. So some of them are really informative and are just really fantastic kind of resources to have. The other sort of a bigger item that I did receive as well is a Portrait 3. So this is a silhouette machine. It's a lot like my brother's Scan and Cut that I've got, but it's one of these electronic cutting machines. So that was amazing as well. So I don't know if there's anything else left to come or not. There are a few other pictures on this spread that I haven't seen anything for, so I don't know, but I'm super happy what I've with what I've got kind of at the moment anyway. So I'll be using those alongside with, of course, my magazines and my sort of regular videos that I do anyway. But I'm really excited to sort of be able to start using them and really seeing what we can kind of just create with them as well. So some of you have commented in some of my previous videos, obviously where you've seen it being advertised in the magazine. To those people, thank you so much. I really wasn't able to kind of say anything, so I just kind of said thank you for that sort of comment. But yeah, so really now is the time when I've been allowed to kind of really talk about this. But as I said, it came out then in the magazines this month, and then it was basically kind of after that we could start talking about it. So if you haven't seen the kind of spread in the magazines, it will be in any of the 4 magazines that they publish for card making for the month of June. But also you can again go onto the Craftworld website, and they do have kind of a article on there about it as well. But so I'll show you some better pictures of the sort of cards and the project that I did create, but I just want to sort of show you this first. So it was really odd to kind of see myself in a magazine, obviously with a picture here. It just shows what I entered the competition with, and then just an interview that we filled out. So they asked us a bunch of different questions about how long we've been making cards for or crafting for, you know, where our inspiration comes from, and just sort of like general questions about that. You can see that in the magazines, or you can see that over on the Craftworld website. There was also as well a sort of little indication of what our capsule collection was going to kind of look like, so we had to submit pictures of what we kind of wanted and kind of really describe that. I don't know that I necessarily described everything that I wanted. I wasn't really 100% sure what to kind of put in. I didn't really know what the process was going to be, so I wish maybe I'd put a little bit more in my description, because everyone else kind of did have a lot more in theirs. But I'd actually already designed my collection, so I sort of did my first draft of kind of what I wanted it to be. So again, if you go onto the Craftworld website, there is an article about voting. I will pop a link in the description box down below for you to go over and vote for your favourite capsule collection. But again, they showed then the photographs that I had submitted, so it's images that I've drawn. But again, I have done then some more work on things like sentiments and other bits and pieces that I would like to add as well. But it really, the vote is based on that first kind of draft of our capsule collections. So I'm going to pop on screen now a couple of photographs of the projects that I did create, just so you can sort of see what it is that I entered with. So one of the questions as part of the interview was about the inspiration behind our pieces that we submitted, and really mine, I wanted to create something that was super cohesive. So I basically picked a palette first, so a colour palette, and then kind of worked on what I thought would work best with those colours. So being sort of springtime, I wanted to go with something a little bit more floral, so I kind of went for like blues and browns. I thought that would kind of work nicely together. So I created the lantern for my kind of other paper crafting project. If I can find a link to the die set that I used, it's made by Hunky Dory. It makes sort of really beautiful lanterns, and you can turn it into like gift boxes. You could of course adapt it any way you want, but what I did is I created my own paper as well. So the flowery paper that I use is actually a Tonic Studio background stamp that I stamped out, coloured in with my alcohol markers, and then basically die cut to create the actual lantern itself. I decorated the inside, and I made sort of like a little nest on the inside of it as well to hold a tea candle. I'm really happy with how this turned out. It took me absolutely ages to colour everything in, because I really wanted to kind of colour in the best way that I could. And I just think it came out, if I say so myself, I think it came out quite lovely. So again, I wanted to follow that same colour palette, and I thought the colours would work perfectly as kind of a barnyard scene. So I love creating scenes and things. I don't necessarily do it here a lot on my YouTube channel, but I do love creating these scenes with critters and things like that. So again, another Tonic Studios stamp set that I used here to create this kind of farmyard scene sort of with the different animals, and they're sort of dressed up, and I, you know, had the barn in the background with kind of the apples and carrots and things, and I just, again, I'm really happy with how it turned out. It took me absolutely ages to make it, but it was certainly worthwhile, not just because I won, but, you know, because I did enjoy doing it. I did also decorate the inside as well, so I added a couple of extra images in there with a sentiment. I also made a handmade envelope, which again I did decorate, so it kind of just all went together really beautifully. And then I had to make a second card. So my first one was a slimline card to really get that scene in there, but that second one then I created an A2 size card, and I had the one of the stamp sets from Simon Says Stamp, the flowers that I just absolutely love, and I wanted to create something just a little bit different, so you had kind of those cutesy animals, but then also that kind of really beautiful floral as well. So all three projects had different stamps, but because I used the same colours and the same colour palette, I think it just worked really lovely even though they were different. So I was really happy with what I created. So now I want to talk about the capsule collection, because that is part of the competition that is still currently ongoing. You can go and vote for that. I think the closing is the 22nd of July, I believe, so you can vote up until then. So I really wanted to just show you some pictures of what I'd created, because all of these images I've actually hand drawn myself, I've designed myself. This is kind of a first draft really. I have sort of worked on my sentiments and things, so what you're going to see is more about the images rather than the kind of sentiments and things that go with it, but you know, I've got kind of an idea of an overall collection in my head, and I really wanted it to be kind of modern. So something like a cactus, you know, succulents and things, that's become quite popular over the last few years. Lots of manufacturers do have kind of succulents and cactus themed products, but I really wanted to take mine to a different level. So again, I wanted it to be modern, you know, thinking about kind of the society we live in these days and things like that. So, you know, it was really kind of thinking a little bit deeper into it, I suppose. But again, I kept coming back to this in a world where you can be anything, and I also wanted it to be kind of cutesy and whimsical, and maybe a little bit silly, you know, because why would you dress up a cactus? But really, again, thinking about that in a world where you can be anything. So a cactus, if it wants to be a ballerina, it will be a ballerina. If it wants to be a sheriff or a cowboy, it can absolutely do that. So I really love the idea of kind of dressing this cactus up, so you just got this thing that you know, you just don't associate with dressing up, and kind of being able to do that. So I love the concept of having different outfits that you could dress it up in. When I was a kid, I was always really into kind of like Polly Pockets and things where you could, you know, dress the dolls up, obviously Barbies, and I really love that idea of just having lots of different outfits, because at that point it becomes interchangeable for different people. So if you wanted to create maybe a little girl's birthday card, you know, you could have the cactus dressed up as that ballerina. If they're interested in ballet, if they do ballet, it would be perfect for them. Again, if you've got a little boy, you can use the cowboy outfit for a birthday card for them. You know, it can just be used for so many different things. But again, in a world where you can be anything, just go and be what you want to be. If a cactus wants to be a ballerina, it can go and do that. It's about not kind of boxing yourself in. The sky is the limit. It's all about your imagination. Go and do what you want to do, create what you want to create, and kind of just be yourself, be authentic. And maybe that's a little bit deep for a capsule collection, I don't know, but that was really kind of what my mind had kind of spiraled to, whereas I just think, you know, be brave, be you, just do what you want to do. So that was kind of the starting point. I did then kind of move into, because I've got the different types of cactus, different heights, different shapes and things, so it is, you know, then about, it doesn't matter what size you are, you know, everybody is beautiful. And again, it's just about being authentic to yourself. So yeah, that was kind of really where I wanted to go with it, but I'm really happy with kind of how it's turned out. And again, like I said, this being the first draft, again, I've sat and thought about the different bits that I want to go with that, so the different sentiments that I'd want to put with it. And one of my sort of, I don't know, future ideas when my mind runs away with me is then I think about having different additional stamp sets, so you could really dress that cactus up to anything. So you could have like a uniform stamp set, so you know, you could have chefs chef's clothes, you could have police, you could have firemen, you know, you could have teacher, whatever that might look like. You could, you know, so if someone's got a new job, if someone's just graduated, you know, you can kind of dress this cactus up to really just work for whatever occasion you're creating a card for. So I have thought past just this beginning bit and really sort of thinking where I could take it. So this is something that I'm really passionate about. This would be an absolutely amazing opportunity if I could you know, win this second bit of the competition. But this is something that I'm passionate about past that as well. So I think this is something that I want to do. I would love to manufacture my own stamps and dies and embossing folders and papers and all things like that. You know, this is going to be kind of a bit of a labour of love for me, I think, even past this competition, if nothing was to come from it. So I really wanted to share with you my sort of thought process for my capsule collection, and hopefully just gives you a little bit more of an insight into really what I was thinking kind of when I designed this. But I'd really love to ask if you could head over to the Craftworld website and please vote for your favourite capsule collection. I would really love to sit here and ask you to vote for mine because you're sat here watching my video, but honestly I'd love it if you would just go and vote for your favourite capsule collection. There is a link in the description box down below. You don't have to sign up and make an account to vote. All you do is just pop a few details in and just click who you want to vote for. So again, I urge you to go over to the Craftworld website, make an account and join the fantastic community they've got over there. Don't forget to add me, and you can post on my page as well. I'd really love to see all of the things that you guys create. You know, if it's something that I've inspired you to make based on one of my videos, maybe it's going to be one of my magazine videos and you've created something with it too. I'd really love to see that. So yeah, post it on my Craftworld account, tag me over on Instagram, again on Facebook as well. I'd really love to see what you create. So I really want to thank everybody for watching this video, but not just that, but for watching my other videos, for subscribing, for liking, commenting. I really do appreciate it, and it's just helping my channel grow, which is just so encouraging. So yeah, just thank you everyone for the support. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. So thanks very much for watching and happy crafting.